women will date a guy, and then they would tell everybody, oh, I met this guy, okay, he's gorgeous, big muscles, handsome Italian-looking motherfucker, loads of money, and I was thinking he's going to be my dream man, that's my husband right there. Went on a date with him, all he talked about was himself. He was a fucking dick, worst personality ever. Yeah, okay, right, it happens, fair enough, guy's got an ego. But guess what? He got a date, right? It's just so stupid, but always remember, guys, the internal is more important, but you'll never get a chance to display it if you haven't got the external. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the importance of external attraction. So this all kind of originated from I've always thought this, I think I've written articles on this before, but yeah, I definitely have actually. But I was discussing with a woman in the comments the other day, a lot of women starting to follow First Man. You know, I don't mind, but that's how you get a toxic community and they start arguing. They're not going to agree with what I'm saying, right? So I don't know if YouTube can just put a filter on it. I don't know, just show it to less people in their description as women. I'm not discriminating the content. I just think it's just not going to go well for that fact. But happy if women follow just to learn and pay attention, but don't come in and argue. You know what the community is going to be like, right? So it just makes no sense. And it's not a toxic community. It's just you don't like some of the stuff that's being said. But this woman said, why are you doing all this body language kind of shit? She was like, why don't guys just approach women and just talk, like come up to me, just talk to me normally? Yeah, because that's worked never, okay? That's worked for no guy ever unless they're already at a high level. Like I said to you guys the other day, women have a certain level that they know they're at. They have a personal social value and they know it well. It's ingrained in here. They already know the type of guys that they're interested in before the guy comes over. She has some sort of idea of who she wants to be with, marry, etc., have kids with. She has that ingrained in her brain. This internal attraction shit, like, just have a good personality. Be yourself. Just be funny. If you can make me laugh, right? And it's like, how's that going to work, though? How is that going to work? It's almost like going for a job interview and somebody saying to you, the advice should be, just do well in the workplace. Like when the boss asks you to do something, do it well. Show up on time. Except you'd be like, but I have to get past the interview. Like I have to send the CV first. Like how am I going to say, when I'm in the workplace, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to stay late. It's like, you're not going to be able to show those qualities, show those traits until somebody reads your CV and goes, give him an interview, right? Like it used to be a pain in the ass for me. Like my CV was shit because I didn't really care about qualifications and stuff like that. But once I got an interview, they were like, hired, job. Because it was a personality thing. They were like, oh, your grades don't reflect like who you are. This was when I was really, really young. And it's the same with women. It's the same with attraction. Like there's so many this is what I said to this woman. I was like, okay, put it this way. How many guys with amazing personalities who are funny as fuck, who have got everything that you could ever dream about in your perfect man, have you rejected because they don't look the way you want them to look or they're not as successful as you'd like them to be? You know, they pull up in a car which is an old banger and he's an ugly fat guy, but he's got the best personality ever. Best personality ever, okay? Can't fault him. You know, once a girl's with him, great guy. He takes this girl's advice, okay? He goes up to this woman that I was talking to in the comments, says, hey, you know, does the nice guy thing. I think you're the most beautiful woman in the world. Starts talking to her like normal, just saying, hey, nice weather, you know, what you eating, what are those shoes? Okay, yeah, great. Well, what's your name? Oh, so whereabouts? Oh, you're around there. What you up to today? That's a nice conversation. At the end of it, he goes, can I have your number? And she goes, sorry, I've got a boyfriend. 909,000 million billion times that is going to happen every single fucking time, right? I wouldn't even be surprised if it was 100% of the time, if I'm honest, guys. Women will tell you one thing. This is one thing that I've learned, and this isn't sexist. This is just experience. Women will say one thing, do another. Women don't know what they want, so telling guys what you should do is just stupid. You know, the one rule you should take in life when it comes to women is never take dating advice from women. It's because they want something, but they don't act that way. You know, they'll say, I want a guy to just come up and talk to me. And you're like, no, hang on. Let's be straight about this. The guy you want to come up to talk to you is a someone, you know, has some value. So you start breaking it down. You go, You wouldn't mind him being successful. Well, yeah, of course, it's nice, isn't it? And you're like, oh, so that's the guy that you were envisioning. Okay, so you wouldn't mind him being good looking. Yeah, well, I love guys that are tall, dark, and handsome. Well, there we go. So the guy that you're saying come up and talk to you is somebody that you've pre-vetted. You're already happy to talk to this guy. It's not fair to say any guy can get me if he can just make me laugh, because I don't see a lot of comedians doing well with women. I don't see... There's a lot of fat, ugly comedians out there that aren't getting women left, right, and centre. It doesn't add up. Women aren't dating clowns, are they? Let's be honest. So there's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of advice that you'll see in films. Just be yourself. Just be nice. Just come over and talk. It's just not... We could all do that, right? It doesn't fucking work. And the thing is, if you can't get your foot in the door, this is the most important thing with women, okay? Women will date a guy, and then they would tell everybody, oh, I met this guy, okay? He's gorgeous, big muscles, handsome Italian-looking motherfucker, loads of money, and I was thinking he's going to be my dream man. That's my husband right there. Went on a date with him. All he talked about was himself. He was a fucking dick. Worst personality ever. Yeah, okay, right? It happens. Fair enough. Guy's got an ego. But guess what? He got a date. Do you know what I mean, right? He got a date. He had a chance to display himself. His personality was only visible on the first date. When they first met, it was the external attraction. He pulled up in a Lamborghini. That got him the date. He's a gorgeous guy. That got him the number. He's in great shape. That got him, maybe into bed with her, and then the next time they met, she was pissed off. She was like, he's a dick, right? The guy with the perfect personality that doesn't have all the external shit that I spoke about, he won't even get his foot in the door. This is what I'm talking about. He won't even get that date. He won't even get that number. He won't get to go to bed with her that night and prove that he's got the best tongue game in the world, or he's got a 12-inch penis. Doesn't matter, because he hasn't got through that original door, which is this made-up barometer that every woman has. This, let's say, mental barometer that every woman has of her lowest possible standard that she's willing to accept. It could be a BMW 1 Series for £4,000, a guy who's 5'10", she loves beards, she doesn't want guys who are bald. That's just like her preferences, right? Unless you're hitting this criteria, she won't even accept you to begin with. You're going to have to be like a best friend for 3 years for her to go, shit, do you know what, actually? And even then, it's not a nice fucking scenario, right, guys? So the point I'm trying to make is external matters enormously. So any guys out there that are like, fuck that, it's just materialistic. These girls are just, they're worried about one thing. They just want tall, good-looking guys. It's like, okay, just stop for a second. Stop getting angry about all this shit. Stop saying that, I focus more on the girls that are worried about personality. I'm focused more on the girls. You cannot show a personality in 21 seconds. And 21 seconds is the amount of time it takes to give a first impression. Okay? We've got 21 fucking seconds. I'll say it again. We've got 21 seconds to make a first impression. That's it. 21 seconds. What are you supposed to do? Hi, my name's Chris. I own First Man. I go to the gym. I lift weights. Look how strong I am. Watch me lift this. Watch this bench press. I can climb trees. That'll show my strength. Watch this. You can't just fit shit into 21 seconds and be like, this is everything that I do. I'm a funny guy. Let me crack a joke. My favorite joke is, and just fly through it. Nobody in the history of humans has ever done that. Come across as weird. This is why dating websites work, stuff like Tinder, Happen, etc. Because all your shit is in the bio, so the girl can just read, look at pictures, make a snap judgment. So sometimes it's acceptable, but in real life, you've got 21 seconds to make that first impression. You're not going to be able to go up to a girl and just go, here's my resume, give it a quick read, what do you think? It might be quite humorous, but it's just not going to work. She's making a snap judgment in 21 seconds. She's judging your voice. She's judging... Some girls are into height, some girls aren't. But some girls are going, okay, if I had heels on, yeah, okay, how tall would he be? Some girls are going, I don't like beards, or that beard's a little bit scraggy. They're weighing all this shit up when they're first meeting you. Oh, he's got a deep voice, that must mean he's got a big dick. All this kind of shit is going through her head. She's looking at your shoes. The amount of girls, I used to work in Liverpool Street in London. The amount of girls that was walking around, I actually heard a girl on the phone once saying, yeah, I'm looking at guys' shoes to figure out who's the richest. Fucking mental, right? What a dumb idea that is. I've never believed in that shit. I get the theory, but I've never believed in that shit. I just think that's just so stupid. Okay, you know, you could have bought that pair of shoes yesterday, so they look clean and nice. Like, you know, on their blue, blue. Oh, it must mean he's rich. It's like, no, they could be the same price. What are you talking about? But girls will do that sort of thing because it's an external quality that they can spot. So they're judging all these qualities. They're looking you up and down. They're judging. They're figuring out the words that you're saying, your accent, where you're from. They're making all these snap judgments and they're building a mental picture. And in 21 seconds, if you then ask for the number, I guarantee whether you ask for the number in 20 minutes or 1 minute, I guarantee it would be the same answer. She's already decided. And this is why the external matters so much. Okay, put it this way, guys. If you were a billionaire, there is no way for that girl to know. Okay, if I'm a billionaire right now and I'm talking to you guys on camera, you have no idea. No idea. Unless I say I am a billionaire, you have no idea, right? I'm not, but if I said that, you'd know that I was. The way to find out, okay? I'm wearing a Rolex. Oh, it's giving a clue away. Maybe this is a glass wall. It's a glass like garage that some guys do. Out there, I've got like 3 Bugattis parked up in a garage, right? Behind the scenes, I've got like 7 people, the camera operators. These are clues. This would give it away. And Dan Bilzerian always spoke about this. He said his dad was rich and he had a nice house and stuff, but he never had all of the toys. And this is why Dan Bilzerian and a lot of these successful guys now, they talk about life setup. Because life setup it's a dick measuring thing. It's a bullhorn. I think that's what they call them, right? Where you shout out and you say, look, this is me. It's an advertisement. It's a big arrow saying this is what I represent. This is me. This is what I have. This is why nobody tells the time with a watch anymore. Everyone picks up their phone and goes, oh, right, it's 2:00. With a watch, you got the time on it, but nobody goes, oh, it's whatever. It's just a display of my wealth. It's almost like a price tag. It's like, look, this is a Richard Mille. Jump into bed with me. This is a Rolex. Suck my dick. Right? That's what all these things are. Like, it's the exact same thing as a woman putting on like a tight black dress and guys going, oh, wow, look at her hips. Didn't know she had them. It's the same sort of thing. But as a man, there's a lot. It's going to sound materialistic, and this is why guys need to drop their ego. You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to pull up in a Ferrari. I'm not saying you have to be a billionaire. What I'm saying is the external shit does get you through the door. This is why it's not bad to become a successful man, have your own business, maybe your name Trump on the building, because he knows it was getting in women for so fucking long, right? It's an ego move, but it's all marketing. The reason people park a nice car outside of an estate agent so that people go in and go, he's got a nice car, they must be successful, let's work with these guys, is social proofing. So what you're doing, you're social proofing yourself with external shit. So guys who go, I'm in terrible shape, I'm skinny fat, but I've got great personality and I'm funny. Why doesn't she want to fuck me? It's like, because she can't get to know your personality. She doesn't know you're the nicest guy ever. I'm sure you are. But if you turned up with shredded body, abs, everything, big arms, whatnot, and you were dressed in a tight jumper, she might go, huh, who's that guy? I'm interested. So when you come over and you start talking to her, she goes, yeah, I'll give you my number. I think you've got a nice body. I'm not basing my whole attraction on this because women like qualities outside of the physical. But in order to get that opportunity, to get your foot through the door, you need something that's going to do that for you. Plenty of guys get in ridiculous shape and, then they can use their personality and their humor. They get any girl they want. Some guys use a car. Some guys use social media. Like they have a big house and they keep taking pictures on social media or whatever. Some guys are just tall and handsome, right? And they just go up to girls and they get their foot in the door. Then they're, it's not always, some guys have it all, but that's just you just got to drop your ego and appreciate that. But some guys are 6'4" and handsome and in great shape, but then they're stupid as fuck and they've got a terrible personality and they domestic abuse cases, right? You see that a lot. The thing is, even that, like, a guy could be a rapist, could be a fucking murderer. If he's a tall, good-looking guy who's muscular, he's getting a date, right? It could go horribly wrong, and I pray this never happens to any woman. It could go, and I'm sure this probably has happened. It goes horribly wrong a month later, but he got a date because the external qualities got him through the fucking door. You see what I'm saying, guys? That's like an overblown hyperbole, and I'm not saying to do this, right? Because people always, there's a lot of people that will jump on that and be like, that's what he's promoting, right? I'm not. But what I'm saying is, You need the external qualities just to get somebody to look at you. It's the same in business. It's the same in business. You know, I'm messaging people to come on the podcast. In the early days, it's hard. Now I'm saying, look, my YouTube had 1.1 million minutes viewed in the last 28 days. I'm saying I've had 200,000 views in the last 28 days. My subscribers are going up by 3,000, like pretty much every single 28 days. When I message people that, they're going, oh shit, yeah, you know, I'm sure I could figure out a date. I'm sure we could come together and do something. It's kind of reciprocation. You know, that woman has got sex, looks, sex appeal, everything. She's like, what are you offering in return? It's just an initial agreement. Like you could fall in love with somebody and be the perfect match for each other. You're 80 years old, both of you are ugly as fuck, but you love each other and you've stuck together and you're like, I wouldn't swap her for the world. Okay, but how did you meet? Oh, I thought she was really hot. Okay, what about you? Well, he was on the dance floor, he was moving. I thought he was a great dancer. I loved his body. And I thought he was an attractive guy. I thought he was fun to be around. So the external was the reason that you met. Yeah. And then we got to know each other. Right? That's what always happens. We thought each other were attractive. We then got to know each other and it became a relationship. Getting your foot in the door is the most important thing you can do as a man. And it's life setup. You're going to get that from life setup. So anybody who ever wants to... And this is an ego thing. People think an ego thing is driving a Lamborghini. An ego thing is hating the guy that drives the Lamborghini. That's true ego. Once you figure that out, you go, oh, these guys that are like, I'd rather just live in the woods. Like, they're the ones with the ego because they're trying to, I'm better than everybody else. You think you've cracked it. I've risen above this. You know, those sort of guys, like playing a guitar around a campfire. They're the ego guys in reality. You've got to understand that all of that shit, right? Saying, I'm not going into the gym. Those guys are lame. You know, guys with muscles are lame. I attract girls with personality. How's that working for you, buddy? I bet it's not working well, right? Guys with fancy shit, with a Rolex and a car. It's just superficial. It's lame. Yeah, how's that working for you though, buddy? Because that guy's got a great life. You know, never be too egotistical to be like, what works? I might do it. Right? It's just so stupid. But always remember, guys, the internal is more important. But you'll never get a chance to display it if you haven't got the external. If you haven't got, I'm not saying you have to walk around in jewelry and fucking Gucci shoes and everything like that. You can dress normally. You can have stuff like a normal car, whatever. You don't have to wear an expensive watch. You don't have to do any of this shit. But you have to have your thing. What's your thing? You know, or even if, for example, I can have the bummiest life ever. I could show you guys that I have nothing, whatever, right? I could show that I'm living like a homeless guy. As long as I'm talking about on camera, the business is massively successful, or the news have started talking about it, or something like that, or people see articles, or you've got attention, your social media gains some followers, you're going to get women coming back the other way. And that is because of life setup. You know, it might not even be successful. You might have no money. You might be broke. But let's say you have 1 million Instagram followers. A girl's going to be like, oh, why does he have this? You know, it's just something what is your thing? Your thing could just be your talent. You could just be a great photographer and you're on the street and you're snapping photos. And then when you approach a woman, she goes, hey, what were you doing? It was the external that drew her in. She's intrigued about you. There's something. But I'm just saying the toys help. Dressing well, having £1,000 suit with some nice shoes and a nice watch, it'll allow you to be like, hey, what's your name? And she's like, oh man, blah blah blah, can I get your number? Yeah, sure. Because she thinks, well, he's social proofed, he seems okay, he's not a nobody, he's got some value. You pull up in a car that's £20,000, not unreachable for most guys over the age of 30. She's going to be like, hey, you know, I'll talk to you for 5 minutes, you seem okay, you know, you've got some value. You walk along the street in nice fitted clothes and you're big, what would we say, something like 220-pound guy who's shredded. You know, she's going to give you the time of day. Like I said, even if you dress well, you could be the shortest, fattest, boldest guy. If you pulled up in a Ferrari and you got out dressed well, I guarantee some girls would go, you know, but he's so funny. I dated him and he was so funny. It's you wouldn't have dated him had you not seen the external first. So I'm not saying you have to go down that route and just show off and be flamboyant. I don't think that's the way to go. But I'm saying in order to get your foot in the door, you need something. What is your thing? Decide what is your external factor which is going to get women to put eyeballs on you to let you through the door. Like, do you own the pub? Like, there's all these girls in a club. Do you own the club? If you're the club owner, you might not be rich, but you're the club owner. Like, you have a reason. Like, they've seen you around. They've seen you moving people around and telling people where to go. People talk. They know you're the club owner. It's an external thing where they go, oh, I'm going to get to know this guy. He's the club owner. Do you see what I mean, guys? There's just something that gets your fucking foot through the door. Then you can show that you want to, make love to her, not have sex. You're a nice guy, that sort of shit. Whatever you want to do afterwards. But to get your foot through the door, you do have to be somewhat ruthless and competitive.